This is Ranger Kidwell Ross, editor of WorldSweeper.com. We're at the 2019 American Public Works PWX show, and this is an interesting product that can be used for dust suppression in sweepers, and that can, as I understand it, handle a couple different situations. One is the ability to suppress dust better, and another would be to be able to sweep a little longer, because your dust water is not going to be water. It might not freeze as fast. The details here, though, would best be talked about by Jeffrey Dobson, who happens to be the president of Roadwise and can talk to us. And Jeffrey, you were telling me that there had been a study that Reno did back a ways about using your product, and that although it is a little more corrosive than water to mild steel, it's only a little bit, and also for stainless or aluminum hoppers wouldn't make any difference. But talk about what Roadwise can bring to a sweeper operation.
The really unique thing that Roadwise can do is we can provide a product called Freeze Guard, which is a liquid magnesium chloride. And the nice thing about that is that it makes it so that it won't freeze in the tanks of your sweepers. So you can, our product is good all the way down to a negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can put it in your tanks, it won't freeze. The next really good thing about it is that it binds all of the small particles together, so that when you sweep it up, you'll sweep up the dust rather than blowing it into the air. So all of the dust particles attract to the magnesium chloride, and you can sweep it up a lot better, cleaner, and more efficiently. We have several agencies that will literally go out and spray their sand on the side of their road with magnesium chloride before the sweeper goes over it. And then they also add the mag chloride to the tanks of the sweeper, thereby making it much more efficient.
Mm-hmm. So if you had say with older sweepers and you had a dust control problem because they're older, this is a product that might well help them lessen the dust, pick up more material, and that sort of thing.
Yes, we had an example in the city of Reno several years ago where they had a bunch of old sweepers, and the cost to replace the sweepers was really significant. And so instead of doing that, they did a study with Chuck Satterfield, and they put the mag chloride in the tanks of the sweepers and found out that they were getting everything they wanted to accomplish simply by adding the magnesium chloride to the tank. So they did that instead of buying the sweepers. It reduced the PM10 emissions into the air like over 90%. So it was a substantial savings to them to be able to add the magnesium chloride to the sweepers.
Very good. Well, those are two large aspects that seem to me could give a competitive advantage to any organization that might want to give this a try. So if those old sweepers are giving you trouble, that's on one side, but also the ability to sweep after when you're down into freezing,
yes,
where you might be, then you don't want to chance freezing up your system. So this looks like something that would work for that as well.
Yeah, it works out great that way. It even goes further because you can dilute it so that your tanks don't freeze. Magnesium chloride at the lowest detected temperature is at 22%, and we provide it at a 30% concentration, so you can add water to it and it'll even stretch your dollars that much further.
Okay. And you have a corrosion inhibitor. And people think of magnesium chloride and they might say, oh, well, that's very corrosive, but you actually have a corrosion inhibitor in your product.
Yes, we actually tested by the PNS group, which is the Pacific Northwest Snow Fighters. Their test results show if water's at 1 and salt is at 100, we're at 12 on a corrosion scale. So that's how less corrosive than we are than salt, slightly more than water. And so you want to check with your manufacturer on your machine to make sure it's okay. But we do add the corrosion inhibitors that really help in those kinds of applications.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jeffrey. And I'm going to leave folks with this graphic. And if you want to know more information, that's the number to call.